And we can reach us as well, www.radiosira.com. Welcome all. I'm just trying to adjust things so everything will be okay, inshallah. This is my session of The Power of Change. We just continue from the last session about the language and thinking. We have said that language is the other side of thinking. We've said that language is the spoken thoughts. So language, very important, and language, in fact, is the other side of the coin for thinking. And we have said the language, we have words, we have terms, and those terms represent certain meaning. Or talking about the connection between the name, these terms in the form of names, of course, the name and the meaning. And this connection need to be there in order to stabilize the values and concepts, because most of these terms, especially in religious concepts, they are concepts, they are fundamental principles of the religion. In fact, any idea, any concept, they have certain terms, and those terms applied to certain meaning, and then the connection between the term, the name, and the meaning is very important for the stability, for the knowledge, for the scientific facts. Now, in our religion, alhamdulillah, in Islam, we have special Islamic terms applied for certain meaning. And last time I've told you that I'm going to explain the word Rabb, which is close to the word Lord in English. I'm not very sure actually, but anyway, those who are speaking Urdu, Hindi, Persian, they know the word Rabb, because Rabb is in Arabic language. And of course, if we want to know the meaning of these terms, we have to go back to the Arabic language, the native Arabic language, because Quran is Arabic. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was speaking Arabic. His saying is in Arabic, so we need to know the Arabic language in order to understand the term. I want to say something which is very important, that Quran confirm the meaning of the term and giving awareness and stability and fixing the term in a new manner. So Quran provides us with new terms with their own meaning through the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, and we know exactly that this term applies to this meaning and connected to it, should not be changed at all. And we know that and so many commands in Islam. The word pilgrimage, for example, this pilgrimage, it has the same term like the before Islam, pre-Islamic. But when Islam came, the pilgrimage, what shall I say? The pilgrimage became in a new form of meaning. It's not like the old form, although the name is the same, but the meaning is completely different. And some of the things as well, which is the pre-Islamic concepts being changed, add to it, or confirmed the meaning in Islam. So now I'm going to talk about the Rabb, which is Lord also. It took actually a long time from me, because I've written down things, but I have to go to the dictionary and try to see the close meaning of the word in Arabic language. Okay, the word Rabb in Arabic language, in fact, has got 5 connotations. Number one of the meaning of Rabb, the one who brings up, rear, or fosters, or nurtures. That's one of the meaning. The second meaning is guardian, patron, or one who supervises or responsible for carrying out improvements. The other meaning is the one who occupies a central or focal position, who himself gathers people around himself, of his own, around whom people gathered out themselves. The number 4 meaning of Rabb, this is like derivatives. All of them are applied for the same thing, Rabb. The 4th meaning is leader, head, chief, or lord, one whose word is obeyed, so people have to obey him, and whose supremacy or over leadership acknowledged. And number 5, the one, that's meaning Rabb, the one who has authority to dispose of men or things, owner, master. So these are the 5 meaning, including in the word of Rabb, which is, I've said, very close to Lord. Now, the Quran, in the verses of the Quran, he used all of these 5. All of these 5 are applied in Quran. Good. Now, I don't want to go about the misconception of the word Rabb through the different people with their messengers, because this is a very long story. But let me try to go now, as I have this paper in front of me. I just highlight them. Otherwise, I would love to show you in a presentation. In fact, it would be better. Maybe think about it. I'll have a word with with the Maulana Hudayfa, so at least I can show you a presentation where things can be very clear, inshallah. Because sometimes we need to have some, I would say, drawing or some writing in systematic, because the words, cannot be, I would say, we tend to forget words. Right. Now, let us first of all try to see the pre-Islamic meaning of Rabb in with the Meccan pagan, with the people in Mecca before Islam. Now, the Meccan to whom Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sent as God's messenger, and to whom therefore the Quran message was immediately addressed. What was the nature of their error? What they have in their error about the word Rabb? Right. Where the question is, do those people ignore or reject the existence of God? That's the question. Do they need, for example, somebody to tell them that God exists? Now, if we look at this, we will find that the answer is no. They know exactly that the God or Allah or Rabb is there, and He created the heaven and earth, and He is sustainer, provider, and creator. They know that. They know, they believe that He is the creator and He is the master of the universe, as well as of their own gods as well. Even those idols they use, they believe that Allah is supersede them. It's a great power, it's eternal. They know that. So what happened then? Why we call them disbelievers? Why we call them disbelievers? There are so many verses in the Quran describing the belief of these disbelievers before the Prophet Muhammad mission. There are so many verses. I just really can't go through them. But if you go to Surah Al-Mu'minun, I may try to read it because there are so many verses. I will choose this verse. Allah said to Prophet Muhammad, "Say to them, O Prophet, whose is the earth and all who are in it? Tell me if you know." Their reply will be, "It all belongs to Allah." Ask them then, and still you do not listen. Ask, who is the Rabb, the Lord, of the seven heavens and of the mighty throne? And they will say, it is Allah. Ask them then, and still you do not fear. So they ask the questions, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala show it in the Quran, and the answer is, they say, He is the Lord, He is Allah, created the heaven and earth, He is Allah, who is the supremacy, who is the complete, who is the eternal. Right. So, and there are so many, I've just quoted, so many, I would say, so many verses in the Quran. So what's the error they have? The error they have, the consequence of this belief in Allah, that He is sustainer, He is the creator, He is possessed the whole world in the universe, He is the master of the universe, the consequence is to submit themselves to Allah, to follow the guidance. They didn't do that. So it's a belief, it's just a cold belief. It's a belief which no impact in their life. And Prophet Muhammad ﷺ came to show them that this is the first step is this, but it has to be followed by the action. The first step, that you believe that Allah is there. He is the master of the universe. He is the creator. No creator but Him. So why did you associate partners with Him? Why those partners, and you do believe that they are not sharing Allah in anything. They have no God's character, but you put them with Allah. This is the meaning of shirk in Islam. This is the meaning of shirk, when you associate partners with Him, regardless who the partner is. They do believe that those partners, they may have certain authority with Allah, but they know that Allah is the active power, not those partners. So this is the error. In fact, in front of me there are so many highlights, but I want just to make it simple. The problem is, if you want to simplify something, it is very difficult. It is really difficult. And I think if you ask those who are teaching at the university or even the primary school or secondary school, they found it the best and hardest way, the hardest step is to simplify something to make it understandable. It's not easy. You have to understand it first, and then you have to go through it, and then you simplify. That's what I'm doing. I hope that my message will be delivered to you. Please contact me. If I misphrase any word and I need to rephrase it, please correct me. I'll be more than happy. The English language is not my language. I'm an Arabic person, and I even have mistaken my Arabic language. So if you feel that you can correct me at any time, I'll be more than happy. You can contact the Radio Sierra or contact me personally through this show, The Power of Change, because we are here all learning, and we need actually to help each other for the message to be delivered. What I am talking is about language and thinking. This is the steps towards the mental health, mental happiness. So I'm just trying to go step by step until I come to the most important points which everybody needs. And I have done that last year. I'm repeating it this year as well, inshallah. So please don't hesitate to contact me. Don't hesitate to send any message through the Facebook, through Radio Sierra, to Dr. Nouri Saleh of The Power of Change. I'll be more than happy to receive an answer, inshallah. Right. So now, associating partners are not the idols, leaders and chiefs who had made the killing of own's children, because there is a verse here to show that the partners, they are not only idols. This verse in the Quran, Allah said, and in this wise was a many of pagan, the slaying of their own children made to look a worthy act by those they associate with God. to lead them to their doom and cause confusion in their religion. That's chapter 6, verse 138. Obviously, the associated here referred to there are not the idols or gods, but those leaders and chiefs who had made the killing of one's own children, they have done that, disbelievers, seem like a noble act in the eyes of the pagans. These leaders are not characterized here as associated, in the sense of their being regarded as having a say in the affair of the universe. So they are not sharing any authority with Allah in mastering the universe. But since they are giving laws and regulations and commands, and those people obey them, so they consider them as Rabb, as Lord, as God. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what the verse said. By the way, before I forget, what I'm giving you here is not tafsir. It's not interpretation of the Quran. It is the direct meaning of the Arabic language of those terms and the direct meaning of the verses in the Quran. The direct meaning of these Arabic verses, direct meaning. So everybody knows, every person who knows Arabic, they will know them. Or those who know exactly the translation of those terms. So this is one verse which is show the argument between the Quran and others, just to show exactly what's the meaning of Rabb in sense of obeying others. Right. Now, what is the message of the Quran? Because that will confirm, as I've told you, Quran is Arabic, and it's the highest level of Arabic language. So whatever the term is there, it has been explained in the Quran clearly, and the Arab, they know that. And the same thing, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ clarified it and explained more and more in his own teaching and saying. So what is the message of the Quran? Let me show it in here now. Quran, it mentioned as that the misguided and stray actually deny the existence of God. They are not. His being, the Rabb and Ilah, all, however, went wrong in much the same way in dividing the attributes of Rabb in its 5 different sins. So that means that the error they have, not in fact that there is another God, no. They just apply the 5 derivative meaning of Rabb I've showed you earlier in this show, and they apply it differently. While the main character of the word Rabb is the creator, the master of the universe, and is the supremacy, and is the only being worthily worshipped and obeyed, and they have to submit themselves to him alone. This is the main character of the word Rabb. The other attributes is there, and it's derived from there, but this is the umbrella through which we can understand the meaning of Rabb, the meaning of Lord. Let me in Quran, Allah showed them this, they connect the mastering the universe, and Allah is the creator, connected to that he is deserved to be obeyed, and he is the Rabb. In Surah Yunus, chapter 10, verses 31 and 32, if you read it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked, he said, ask them, O Muhammad, who is it who provides sustenance for you from heaven and the earth? Is it he in whose power are hearing and sight, and who brings forth the living from the dead and the dead from the living, and who rules and regulates all affairs? If you ask, they will say, it is Allah. So again, the Quran confront them in the argument that if you say that there is no except Allah, no object, nothing but Allah created the universe and created you and control the whole universe. So the obvious understanding, the obvious consequence, the obvious result according to that, to obey him alone. Why do you associate others with him, regardless who they are the others, either adults or human or chief or clan leaders or anything? So that's the obvious thing. This is a very simple, in fact, very simple fact. It's very simple fact that easy to be understood. Right. So let me just go now. There are so many verses. In fact, it's very difficult. Maybe you can write it in a post, inshallah. It will be very clear if you can do it in a post. Now, the Quran, I want to say that right. The Quran insists and showed that the word Rabb exactly synonymous with the sovereignty, and the concept of Rabb, it is present is that Allah is the absolute, the king of all creation, and its sole Lord and master and such. So in this case, this is exactly that the rububiyyah, which is the noun of Rabb. This is like a noun, you see. So the word Rabb or Lord equal the absolute sovereignty and authority and leadership for him, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So worshipping Allah means obeying him in all aspects of your life, not only in praying and fasting, but in all aspects of your life. Now, in fact, the word Rabb came to the people, to the pagan, before even the commands came. Before, for example, fasting Ramadan, before the detail of zakat, before the detail of so many commands. All of those commands came in Medina. But those verses showed the word Rabb and ibadah, worship, just before those commands came and revealed to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, which reveals and showed that the submission to Allah, even before the commands came, is a condition for those who say that they are Muslim, or those who say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Look, I just wanna right. So I think I have explained, because it's very difficult for me actually, as I have told you, very difficult to simplify things. But I hope that the message is clear. That the word Rabb has got all of these meaning, which I have showed you just now. It is the 5 meaning applied, all of them in the Quran. But the main important and absolute meaning, where all of these meaning connected to it, is the absolute authority, the rububiyyah, the godhood or lordhood or lordship, equal the authority and sovereignty. That's what the Quran said. And that's the main point which the Messenger of Allah called the people to it. Not only the Messenger Muhammad ﷺ, even those who they came before him sallallahu alayhi wasallam. I hope that I have clarified this one, and I think inshallah in due course when we come things will be very clear inshallah. Maybe I will think to write down an article or post in Radio Sira or in my own Facebook page to explain this in English inshallah. I have done it in Arabic in my Arabic Facebook page, but I will do it in my English Facebook page inshallah, and then you can look at it. But I will request brother Hudayfa Jazallahu Khairan, brother Abdul Rahim, who they are in charge in the administration of this radio. Jazakumullahu Khairan. If I can do that, Jazakumullahu Khairan. So I wish you all the best inshallah. I'll be with you inshallah after 7 o'clock news in order to see the connection between Rabb, Lord, and Ilah, God, and this connection I want just to to put it, as I have told you, what's the relation between وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. Behold, that the Lord said to the angel, I'm going to place Vajanet. And the verses which revealed to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, اقرأ باسم ربك, read by the name of your Lord. So there are in fact similarities and connection. I want to clarify it inshallah ta'ala in our way to explain the effect of language on thinking and how the language shape our thinking and our thoughts, and how the language is in fact interact with thinking, and it is in fact the other side of the coin of thinking. This is the mirror image of thinking. This is Dr. Nouri Saleh with the Power of Change, Radio Sierra 1575 AM. I'll be with you inshallah after 7 o'clock news. Stay with me. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.